Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraff.
And I'm Catherine, co-host and bestie.
Welcome to the Pod Lab, Catherine.
Thank you. Thank you for the coffee, the little frothy one here.
Nespresso.
Nespresso, yeah.
Very bougie. Mm-hmm. Ron and I bought that for ourselves for Christmas.
Very nice.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day here, February 16th, 2026. Still waiting for grandchild number 1.
Yeah, and for spring.
Well, who cares about spring? I have a grandchild coming.
I know.
I don't care about that.
Yes, you do. You say it all the time.
I know, but I don't care as much.
True.
I mean, come on now. You'll see when you get yours and brew in there.
I'm all ready.
Yeah,
I'm all ready.
Catherine and I, if you're tuning in for the first time, we are soon to be first-time grandmas. Her daughter is pregnant with her first grandson, and my son and daughter-in-law are having our first grandson. Mm-hmm. So anyway, we're just super excited for new family members. Can't wait to hug them, and
so exciting.
You know, I'm sorry, this is already off to the races with the grandchild, right? The sad thing about babies is they change so fast.
I know.
I'm afraid that my son and daughter-in-law are going to have to get a restraining order against me, because when that baby comes, I have a feling that I'm going to be just knocking down the door.
Yeah.
And they live a distance from us, so 3-hour drive. So I'll be like, I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, today, friends, the topic of the day is books that changed us. Mm-hmm. And this is episode number 256. So stay tuned, because we have a lot of fun things to share with you. And maybe it could just inspire you to, do a little reading and think about how you can impact your life, for the good. Mm-hmm. All for good. Before we dive into our outline, though, Catherine, please share with our friends who are listening how they can support us if they'd like to.
They can support us by going to lifehappens.laughanywaypodcast.com. Follow the prompts. It'll take you to Tracy's website, and then from there, you can generously support us, or just give whatever you're led to give. Most of our contributors, we call them humor contributors. Most of them give like $5 a month. Some give a one lump sum, and it really helps a couple chicks out here.
It does. Yeah. So we just encourage you to, dig in, dive deep, and cough it up.
Do what you can.
Do what you can. Do what you can when you can, right?
Right.
By the way, I do have to say this as well. I just came back from the doctor's office. I went and got my annual mammogram today, and I hate getting them. I hate it. It hurts. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. And I got my exam too, where they go in there in the deep dive and they just make sure everything's in the same place it's supposed to be. Yeah, hate it. But I just encourage everybody listening, because most of our audience are female. I encourage you ladies, make the call, make the appointment, get the checks, just check, just get it knocked off your list.
Yeah. I go next week, but my office doesn't have the mammo in with the exam. I wish they did. She has to write the order, then I have to go later when they can squeeze me in at a different location.
Yeah.
Stinks.
Yeah, my doctor just started this service where they've collaborated with, I don't know, an imaging center that has a machine right there in her office. Mm-hmm. But you do have to coordinate the schedule. You know what I mean? Like if you want a mammogram, you have to make sure that the mammographer lady is available and all that. Yeah. It was funny because I was describing what it's like to get a mammogram to my husband last night. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him how they pull the breast tissue like from your back and under your arm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, there's not breast tissue on your back. I go, yes, there is. I think it's on my butt too. They're going to have to pull it all in there.
All I know is when I go, I'm like, where'd all that come from? Oh, yeah, my neck.
Right, no wonder it's all stretched out. Oh,
that's why my neck sags now. Seriously. It's from that. It's not from age or anything.
No.
Well, age, yeah. Many times of it being pulled
into this little
How do you
thing.
Right. Gosh. I think they should have a sign inside the mammo place that should say, "Hope you have a smashing good time." They should have that.
Oh, that'd be good. Why don't they? That's what we should do, Catherine. Let's start a new career. We can do mammograms, and we can make it fun, and we'll serve alcohol. Just kidding. All right.
Right.
Let's move on. All right. Books that changed us. This is a podcast topic that initially we thought, oh, yeah, that'd be good. And then when we looked at it a few days ago, we're like, oh, no, that's not going to be good. But it is going to be good.
Yeah.
So Catherine's going to share with you some of the books that she just loves and recommends and that just changed her, that had an impact. I'm going to do the same. Then we're going to talk about timing. Sometimes it's the right book at the wrong time, and so you gotta kind of wait until it's the right time. As always, we have scripture and a call to action. So what say you, Catherine, regarding books that changed you?
Yeah, changed me or made a big impression on me when we first started talking about this. The first books that came to mind were when I was a child or a young girl, like 12 maybe or somewhere around there. And I thought of the books I had read then and how I never forgot them, and they definitely left an impression on me. So I'll name those books. I don't know if I'd say I recommend them because it was so long ago. And as an adult and even a Christian, I don't
You just
I
look
don't
back and
know.
go,
Like
I was forced.
I just remember reading it and being like, oh my gosh. So one of them was Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And that just stuck with me forever. And I think most people my age probably know that book. We had to read it in school. So, but that was back in the early 80s. So I don't know. And then another one that I read on my own free time was Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. And it haunted me. I mean,
Really?
oh yeah. It was these 4 children and I think it was 2 girls, 2 boys. There was a set of twins. And their father had passed away in a horrible accident. And they were called the Darlings. And then anyway, their family life completely changed. And they never knew their grandma, but the mother says, uh-oh, well, Dad's gone, so we're going to have to go to Grandma's. And you're just going to have to stay in the attic for a little while. Well, they ended up being in the attic for years. And they had all this hope that they were going to have this great life because Grandma was rich. But the grandma hated the husband that her daughter married, and so therefore she hated the children, and there was cruelty. Anyway, it just stuck with me forever. And then they made a movie out of it, which wasn't anything near as good as the book. So,
Wow.
Yeah, but all of that set aside in terms of that's kind of a lighter thing. But when I couldn't sleep I think it was last night, and I was thinking about our podcast and what books made an impression on me, and it hit me. I was like, oh my gosh. When I was maybe around 7 years old, old enough to read, and I may have said this on the podcast before, but the dentist office that we went to back then, there was a highlights book. They had highlights books. And, I wasn't brought up going to church or anything like that. And there was a book that was stories from the Bible, and I believe it was in a highlights book. And I could still see the illustration today. And it was the story, I believe it's really from Revelation, but Isaiah. It's when the devil, fell from heaven, and he was an angel, but he became, he became Satan. And I remember reading that and thinking, how is that possible? And just had me wondering about God, about heaven, about evil, about hell. And it made a very lasting impression on me. And then also there was, and I could still see the illustration today, there was a story about, the Tower of Babel and how God had messed up everyone's language so they couldn't understand. That stuck with, that's the only thing I knew.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if it changed me, but it definitely made an impression on me and triggered curiosity. That was a lifelong thing. So
It's funny because I read that chapter this morning about
Did
Babel.
you? Oh, wow.
In Genesis.
Huh.
Yeah. When they finally, all the people that were here after the flood, they finally, started to coordinate and collaborate. And God's like, oh, they're too good.
Yeah.
I'm going to mix this up a bit.
Right. And what's amazing about the illustrations is that even though it was meant for kids, they weren't like cartoonish pictures like you normally would see in a child's book for the Bible. It was, adult like illustrations.
Yeah.
In a child. So,
well, that's awesome.
Yeah. But now fast forward, and books that I read I'm talking about the ones I read years ago, not the most recent ones. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I forgot the author, and I forgot to Google who the author
It's like
was.
Kawasaki or something.
Yeah,
Or Robert somebody.
Yeah. And that was about really success and about entrepreneurship versus tons of education and, security in having, a secure job. And it was just a book that really made a huge impression on me as well. I started to view things differently after reading that book.
Yeah. Correction, it's Robert. It looks like it's pronounced Kiyosaki or Kiyosaki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah. I remember I shared it with you too. And because I was like, oh, that's such a good book. And then is it Worry Less, Live More?
Are you talking about the Dale Carnegie?
That's why I couldn't find it. I kept looking, so that title, but under Jack Canfield.
No.
Just couldn't find it. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Right. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one, right. Talk about timing. That was one you lent to me. I was worrying all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, I have this book, and you lent it to me, and that absolutely changed my perspective. Very good book if you're, bent toward worrying a lot and borrow. My dad used to say, don't borrow trouble. And so that made a lasting impression.
Well, since this one is on my list too, let's just talk about this one because I wanted to say a few things about it. I mean, I think that worry is something that we can have bouts of it throughout our life. Mm-hmm. Even if you think to yourself, well, I'm not a worrywart. Okay, great. You're not a worrywart. Well, guess what? You could have a situation that comes up in your head or comes up in your life, right? Mm-hmm. Where all of a sudden you have all these concerns and now maybe you are worrying, you know? I think that worry is just something that we need to be mindful of and don't be in denial about it and don't be afraid of it. And so this book by Dale Carnegie, who is the best-selling author of How to Win Friends and Influence People, he's a great author. The way he tells a story is amazing. He brings you right into it. And this book, this print here says it sold over 6 million copies. You can get this at any library, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living Time-Tested Methods for Conquering Worry. Mm-hmm. And then my little sticky note on top here, I put just like my little things I remember from reading it. One is, remember when he talks about the day-tight compartments?
Yes. Yep.
He gives the example of a ship similar to the Titanic. Remember the Titanic had these compartments that were supposed to keep the ship afloat. Well, it didn't work,
right?
Obviously. But the concept is that we're given 24 hours in every day, and to just keep focused on those 24 hours and don't think too far ahead and don't look too far back.
Yeah.
Just kind of stay in the moment.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So he called it day-tight or I think it was day-tight compartments.
Yeah, something.
Each day is a 24-hour gift. Unwrap that gift, live in the moment. Don't worry about everything else. He also talked about imagining the worst. So let's say you have a scenario, an illness or a financial problem or whatever it is, relationship problem. Imagine what would be the absolute worst scenario that could happen with this. Mm-hmm. And then work your way back. It's almost like, deconstructing it and realize that you are stronger than you think. So these are all of the ways, and he gives methods for it, like what you should do. I almost want to read this again because I just think that it's great.
Yeah, it's a very good book.
Like here, I just turned to page 47, and there's just 4 little bullet points here. What is the problem? What is the cause of the problem? What are the possible solutions to the problem? What solution do you suggest? I mean, this is like applying it to business,
Yeah.
Really good book.
Very good. Yeah, after you lent it to me, I went and bought one, and then I lent it to someone or gave it to them. And hopefully it was a good tool for them as well.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what
Yeah.
else you got?
Another one that, oh boy, I highly recommend this one. It's Landmines by Charles Stanley. And before I kind of talk more about that, also now this is a little bit more recent, Good Boundaries and Goodbyes by Lisa Turkhurst. Very good book as well. But back to Landmines. I had read that. Well, I think I did a Bible study on it years and years ago, and then we did it again in small groups.
Yeah.
But I had read it at a time, like I picked it up again because I was really struggling with some things, and I remembered that it had some topics in there that were really good. So I reread it, and I just can't say enough about it. One of the questions that we were going to put out there was, did the book solve a problem or expose one? And I would say it did both. I would definitely say that it exposed, this feels a little vulnerable, but pride in myself, jealousy. So I recognized it and dealt with it.
Good.
Yeah. And another question that we have on our little list, like, would it have hit me the same 10 years earlier? I don't think so. I didn't understand, prior to the time frame of when I reread that book, I don't think I understood as well pride, and especially the landmines. And so, another question that we have on our list is, what message from the book do you remember the most? Well, really it said sentence, but I would say message is, don't let the devil get a foothold.
Yeah.
In any of these areas. There's all these different areas that Landmines covers that Charles Stanley likens to, like, when you're in a war, you don't want to step on a landmine, and that's what these topics are. Jealousy, which I think you could fit comparison into their pride, probably lust, all those things. And I think there were 7 of them, but yeah, so that has
I've actually got his list in front of me.
Do you?
So I just want to say them out loud so
Yeah.
that our audience can hear. So these are his chapters. Facing the Hidden Threat, that's chapter 1. The Landmine of Pride, Exposing a Prideful Heart, The Landmine of Jealousy and Envy, The Landmine of Insecurity,
Oh, right. Yep.
The Landmine of Compromise, The Landmine of Unforgiveness, The Landmine of Disappointment, The Landmine of Fear, the Landmine of Immorality, where lust would fall into there,
Yeah.
and then the Landmine of Slothfulness
Yes, that's right.
or laziness,
Yep.
which I bought a stuffed sloth for my little grandchild. I did. I thought it was so cute.
Yeah. It's funny that's brought up because it's all coming back to me now. And then after I read that years later, but years ago still, I was on this mission trip, and young Maddie, we had little nicknames for each other, those of us that were on it, and she called me Sloth, and I was like really insulted, and she couldn't understand why.
Did she know what a sloth was?
Well, she kept telling me, "Oh, it's a cute thing. They're so cute," and I was like, "Well, they're kind of considered lazy." And we're on this mission trip, and anyway,
Oh,
so
that's funny.
yeah, right. So, yeah, those are the books that really stuck with me for many. There's a lot more, like fiction books, but those are the ones that I would put in terms of a positive change, a good impression, and that sort of thing.
And by the way, Catherine and I both want to communicate this, that obviously we're Christians, or I say it obviously, but I'm stating it. We're Christians.
It might not be obvious.
Right. We're Christians. We're sinners that are, forgiven. We're forgiven sinners. Let's put it that way, because that sounds a little bit better. So the Bible is the book that, that's where I hate using the word obviously because I'm stating these things. The Bible is the book that we depend upon.
Yeah.
The Bible is the book that we engage with. The Bible is the book that we seek to change and transform our lives with. These other books are also great.
Exactly.
And many of them are written by Christians.
Exactly.
So that segues me into my couple of books. We've already talked about the Dale Carnegie book, which, by the way, he was a Christian. Here's another Christian man, Brian Tracy. Mm-hmm. He's a Christian, but he doesn't write just in the Christian genre. He's more business, motivational, inspirational. So he has a book called Goals. Mm-hmm. This book is also older than dirt. It's been around for a long time, but it's Brian Tracy. It's called Goals, and it says how to get everything you want faster than you ever thought possible. I feel like goals are a very valuable tool for progress. Mm-hmm. I started working on goals as a business owner many years ago. Mm-hmm. And personal goals I struggle a little bit more with, but I'm working on it. Mm-hmm. Like I really want to have personal goals that I work on. Yeah. And keep in front of me every day. And that's one of the things that Brian Tracy says in this book is to write it down and keep it in front of you and repeat it. Make a plan, stick with the plan. And above all, I think my big takeaway from this book is clarity. Yeah. Because sometimes we don't even know what we want.
Right.
So half the battle is figuring out, what do you want?
Yeah. Right. That's want? So true. Right.
Because there's so many options. So I would encourage everybody, whether you're a business person or just for your personal life, Goals by Brian Tracy. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a book that changed my life and was so inspirational to me, and it's called Tying the Knot.
Okay.
And this is the book that I did. Has it been a year and a half now? Because they're going on 2 years married. Mm-hmm. So Catherine's daughter Ellis and her son-in-law Tristan, they asked me if I would officiate their wedding a year and a half ago, which I agreed to. I said I would do it. But I encouraged them. I said premarital counseling is something that I would recommend, whether you want me to do it or if you want to go to the pastor and do it, or a counseling center and pay somebody that has like letters after their name, not just like LOL. But I told them that I was willing to do it with them if they wanted me to. Yeah. And they said, we would rather have you do it rather than go to the pastor or go to a counseling center or whatever. And I'm like, okay, now what? I didn't know what to do. Well, I found this book, and this Rob Green, he's a pastor who wrote this book, and he's from Lafayette, Indiana.
Yeah, so cool.
So it's called Tying the Knot, and the subtitle is A Premarital Guide to a Strong and Lasting Marriage. This book was so thorough and so amazing and well written, and it gave the kids, like, we met weekly for like 7 weeks or something like that. Mm-hmm. Our schedules kind of went wonky here and there, so we had to postpone, but I think there's 7 sessions in it, something like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, 8. There's 8 sessions. Oh, I'm remembering now. The last session is about intimacy.
Oh gosh, that had to be
okay.
Awkward.
So the name of the session is chapter 8. It says Intimacy with Jesus at the Center. And I just I pretty much just said, we all good there? Like just follow the Lord. But the beautiful part of this book is that it talked about marriage as a covenant. Because it truly is. Marriage is from God. The world tries to mess it up and make it all whatever, but marriage is a covenantal relationship from God, and that's pretty special. Mm-hmm. It talked a lot about communication between husband and wife, and my husband and I are going on 37 years married.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
We were married in 89, so this would be 37 years this July. Wow. And communication is a thing. Yeah. And it's still a thing, even after 37 years and 5 boys and all that. It's important.
It's very important.
Use your words, everybody. Mm-hmm. The other thing was expectations. Having expectations communicated, and then that way nobody's kind of like left off. Also, roles and conflict. So I really felt like this was a thorough book. It was very purposeful for me doing it with Ellis and Tristan.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that they asked me and that they said yes. And I don't know that they knew this, but I was like terrified. I'm like, oh no, I don't know if I'm really going to be good at this.
Well, I trusted. I knew you would be.
Well, the Lord was in control, and He provided a wonderful resource, which is why. And of course, I care. I love and care for both of those kids. I mean, Ellis. I watched her grow up from a baby.
Yeah.
You know, she used to come over and make cookies with me because I would borrow her.
You're right.
It's like I need a daughter. All right, this book is.
I was going to mention that, and I forgot.
Yeah, well, I thought you would probably have something to say about it because it's Who Moved My Cheese?
Yeah.
And Catherine and I covered this book in another podcast early on.
Very early on.
So go find it because it was a great episode. It's by Spencer Johnson, and I don't even remember who introduced me to this book, but somebody did a long time ago. And it basically talks about when things change. And change can be good, but it can also be tough and challenging. And so the basic premise of the book, it's an allegory, and it's about these mice, and things change, and they have to find their cheese because somebody moved it.
Somebody moved it, yeah.
But the point of it is the quicker you adapt to change, the better. And so I love that premise. The faster we get going looking for new cheese,
yes,
the better.
Right. Don't keep chasing the thing that's been taken away. It's
Correct.
a good lesson in life.
It's a very good lesson in life because there's so little in this life that we actually control. We have to learn how to respond in a healthier way. And when it comes to change that is unwanted or you just don't like it, the healthier way is to, adapt, pivot, change.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people had to do that during the pandemic.
Yeah, right.
Like me. And, sorry. Okay. Here's another book that we can both talk about, Unoffendable. This is by Brant Hansen, and it's a Bible study. We did it with our life group, and it has streaming video. It's 6 sessions. It's basically just how to be unoffendable because people walk around too much, like with people, meaning myself. I wanted to do this study for 2 years. Because I wanted to care less about things that I felt like I cared too much about. You know what I mean? I wanted to be unoffendable. So a couple of bullet points from this book, and just chime in if you have anything to share about it too, Catherine. He talks about releasing anger when you're upset about something and not just kind of hiding behind, well, I have righteous anger. He talks about that. He talks about to stop living in a constant state of offensiveness, of being offended by somebody else's thinking or politics or faith or whatever, and really learning to let it go. I mean, I feel like that's the key point of the book is just learning to just let it go. There's bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. I don't really have too much to add to it, but that was
I think that book could especially help people if you are steeped in political one camp or the other, and you're finding it hard to relate to people of the other persuasion, because we need to interact with each other. We need to agree to disagree with each other. We need to engage with each other. We're in the same family. We're in the same church. We're in the same whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to just be okay with letting other people have a different opinion than ours. So I think with politics, it can help. I also think people with road rage would benefit from this. You know, just trying not to be offended and taking it personal that somebody is, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there are some people that are more easily offended, for sure.
Yeah. Don't be so uptight, right?
Just, the problem is typically with the other person. I mean, you take a good look at yourself too, but if you feel offended by someone's comment, the problem's with them. I mean,
yeah. And the older that we get, so I'm 60, and the older I get, the less I care really about, okay, you think that way? Great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Other things to do.
Yeah.
Hurry up, time's a ticking.
Yeah, right.
Okay, this is my last book. It's called...
you have a lot.
Well, I was looking through my bookshelf.
Yeah.
This book I read many, many years ago. It's called Margin.
Okay.
And I read the book during a season and time. This is a good segue. I didn't plan this to be the last one, but it's a good segue into our next segment. The timing of this book was impeccable because I was completely overwhelmed. Raising 5 kids was a lot for me, especially 5 boys. It was chaotic. The laundry alone
Yeah, right.
was basically I was drowning in laundry.
Yeah.
And this book, the subtitle is Restoring Emotional, Physical, Financial, and Time Reserves to Overloaded Lives. When you think about a book or a page, if it has absolutely no margin on it, okay, it's just from one end of the sheet of the paper all the way to the other end of the sheet of the
It's
paper.
overwhelming.
Your brain will explode if
Yeah.
you are looking at a
Right.
book with no white space and no margin.
So true.
So that's why this book is called Margin.
Cool.
Because we need that space in
Yeah.
our life. And
Right.
in our culture, we're oftentimes, like even that comment that you said, the one younger gal was nicknaming you Sloth because it was cute and she thought it was fun, but you perceived it as lazy.
I did.
And our
Yeah.
culture really looks at striving and goal setting and all that as productive and good. But when you're maxed out, you're not good for anything, you know? So we need space between, they call it our load and our limits, because we
Yeah,
all have
yeah.
a load, but we all have limits. So this book is very practical for people who are in a season of overwhelm. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. And I've read it a couple times and I've loaned it out as well. So
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
good.
I just remembered another book that also made an impression on me too, and that was Artist's Way
Oh yeah.
by
Yeah.
Cameron, I think. Somebody?
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah, I have it on my bookshelf over there.
Yeah. That one.
This book, I'm sorry, Margin, I wanted to mention the author. Richard Swenson is the author.
Okay.
So you could probably get it at the local library, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Oh, that's good.
let's segue into timing because we wanted to talk
Yeah.
a little bit about, you know, having the right book for the right time and things like that. What say you about timing, Catherine?
Well, I kind of did some Googling and sought some advice on that. And what it came up with was first, start with your current mood, not your reading goals.
Yeah.
Start with your mood. Do you want to ask yourself, do I want comfort or challenge, escape or reflect? Or do I want something fast-paced or slow and immersive?
Yeah.
So those are some good starting points. And then it says also to match the book to your energy level. So be honest about how much mental bandwidth you have. I think that's a really good, nugget to think about. If you are feeling like low energy, do short chapters. The book Who Moved My Cheese? That's very short, but
Yeah.
very powerful.
You could read it in a couple hours.
Yeah.
By the way, little plug for my book.
I was just going to say that.
on.
Yeah, I was
Tell
going to
them
say
about
that.
my book.
Well, your book, Tracy, Life Happens, Laugh Anyway.
What's the name of my book, Catherine?
Is it not Laugh? Oh, it's not named that. What is it?
Laugh Anyway, Mom.
That's right.
I'm getting a new best friend. Somebody that knows the name of my book. Jeez. Yes, go on.
That's hilarious. Well, I'm just used to
Continue.
I'm used to saying Life Happens, Laugh Anyway.
Right,
And
right.
She wrote it a long time ago, folks.
True that.
But I do see the book all the time. Anyway, yes, very good book about just funny stories. Well, they're funny now. They weren't funny when they happened, of when
Right.
you were raising the boys and all the trips to the emergency room. And then it's really encouraging, especially at the end. It's, basically like a just keep going
Yeah.
type thing. And then you kind of softly point people to Jesus. You talk about, do you talk about your mom in the book?
The
end?
not so much at the end. No, at the very beginning in the introduction,
Oh, okay.
I talked about her a little bit because she had passed away.
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, so very encouraging
It's
and lighthearted, easy read book.
Yes, that's what I was going to say in terms of timing. If you're looking for something that's 15 minutes at a time, that's a great book because there's about 60 stories in there of my kids doing really dumb things and how we survived it, and they're little vignettes.
Yes.
So they're like little 15-minute stories.
Yes, exactly. My daughter, Emily, she read it like several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a friend of ours here, Judy Estelle. Remember Judy, who ran the hair cuttery thing?
Oh, yeah.
Uptown.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, Judy, she told me that her grandson loved to hear her read it to him.
Oh, I remember
And
that now.
he was like in elementary school, but
Yeah.
he loved the shenanigans of my boys. And he was like, what they do now? I'm like, yeah, that's how it was.
That's awesome.
All right, anything else about timing?
Well, about timing, not more about timing, but just about, when and where or what. Yeah.
Basically, I'm just asking you if you have anything else to say,
I
Catherine.
know.
So it can be about timing or whatever
I don't know about
you
that.
want.
Just it advises to use the one chapter test. So instead of over researching, read the first chapter or 10 pages and then just ask yourself, do I want to keep going with this?
Yeah.
It's almost like dating.
I do that all the time with a book. I pick it up and I read the beginning and the very end.
I never do that.
I love doing that.
I don't like spoilers, so I can't even think about I
okay.
can't do that.
Do you want to know something?
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's a confession. When Ron and I are watching something on TV, like a series,
You'll
or
Google
something,
the end.
I do.
Oh, if I knew Kenny was doing that, I would have to say something to him.
Like what?
Well, you're ruining it for yourself. That's what I would say
Well,
to him.
why would you care?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
don't tell
just
Ron.
do.
If I'm bored and I'm waiting, I will just Google it. Like, what happened?
Wow.
And then I get and then I just pretend like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen.
Oh my gosh, I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Cannot. Okay. All right. Well,
Anything else? You done?
let's just be done.
Okay.
Forget it.
Let's share some scripture. How about that?
That sounds really good.
All right. We have two different passages. They're both from the book of Romans. Okay. Romans 12, verse 2. We've shared this one many times before because it's such a great passage. It says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And the reason we brought that into this conversation is because books and content and information can shape your thinking.
It does, yeah.
It does. So first of all, you got to be careful what you put in there and put good stuff in so that you get good shaping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the other scripture we wanted to share was Romans 5:3-5. And it says this, not only that, but we rejoice in our sufferings, knowing that suffering produces endurance, and endurance produces character, and character produces hope. And hope does not put us to shame, because God's love has been poured into our hearts through the Holy Spirit, who has been given to us.
Amen.
Amen. That is the truth.
It is.
So hang in there, friends. If you're going through a rough patch, you're going through some suffering, we hope that you have hope, in the one that we can have hope in, which is Jesus Christ. And God does give us a lot of resources to help us with problems. So please reach out.
Yes.
Okay, call to action. Do you remember?
I only retain what I know that I have to say, and then I think, oh, it's all her stuff. I don't care what I do care. I do care.
It was your idea, Catherine.
I know.
You don't remember it?
It was tell us. When I'm put on the spot, I feel like a deer in the headlights, even when I know what it is. Tell us, reach out to us. Tell us books that you might recommend.
Yes.
Audience. I do know what I said. I just freeze. I'm like, what? Oh no.
It's like PTSD.
You weren't supposed to be bouncing it to me.
Do you remember being in elementary school and being called on to read, and if you're not following?
Okay, I never had that problem. I couldn't wait to read, and I cringed when others struggled to read.
Yeah.
No, never that. But here's where I did freeze, and I still do math. Oh, and we played Around the World too. Did you play that
with the fractions and stuff?
I hate that they even use the word play, because that is not play to me. That is not fun. I do not like math. I don't think that it's fun to play a math game. It's embarrassing and humiliating. So all the kids that struggled when they were called on to read.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I felt so bad. But I was that one in the math
department.
Oh, yes. And under my desk, I'm using my fingers. Terrible. So I do know what it's like.
Okay.
It's just not worth reading.
Well, then I will not call on you.
To do the math?
No.
Good.
No.
I won't call on you either.
All right, friends, we've lost control. The call to action, just to be very clear, is we would like you to tell us about a book that changed you. Yeah. Tell us, like, what we've been sharing our lives with you. We want to hear from you because that would really encourage us. Like, we're having a conversation.
See, you put it so well.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, you weren't supposed to ask me.
You did great. Well, in all fairness to myself, I wanted to be courteous of you.
I know.
Because it was your idea.
I know that you do, but still.
It's a ton now.
All right.
I'm going to give you a way to contact us.
Oh.
Not you.
Thought you were saying I'm going to give you a way to vote. I'm like, no, not again.
Calm down.
Stop.
Oh, wait, side note before we sign off. Do you know what? When my husband says certain words, it has the opposite effect.
Oh.
So
like?
when he says things like relax, it has the opposite effect.
Oh, don't you love it? Chill.
Yeah, or calm down.
Are you kidding me?
I
calm down. Yeah, that helps. That's helpful.
Right. Just don't say that, guys. Do we have any guys listening?
It's not just guys.
That's true.
There's a lot of women that are
Relax.
like, calm down.
Oh, okay. All right, let me give my email address.
God, we're getting way off.
I know. It's Tracy, Tracy, at TracyDegraaf.com. TracyDegraaf, like Frank.com. So email me and let us know, Catherine and I, because we can't afford to have our own email for the podcast. We don't have a website for the podcast.
That's why we need your money.
Yeah. Anyway, email us at my email address and let us know what books shaped you, changed you, that you would recommend. And if you do that, we will say it on the air as long as it's appropriate. Just
right.
I don't know.
I'm not going to name some of those.
Sometimes we get a weirdo out there listening to us. Anyway, you've been listening to the Life Happens Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy Degraaf.
I'm still Catherine.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.